Welcome back. You're watching the Jacksonville History Show. I'm Harry Reagan. In this segment, Lauren Swain Mosley, the Historical Society's archivist, is back with us. And we're going to talk a little bit about what goes on at Old St. Luke's. We just talked a little bit about Old St. Luke's in the previous segment.
Yes.
Archives go on there.
Yes, they do, frequently.
Yeah.
So as I said before, we any kind of documents, photographs, anything like that comes into our building. And I know we've done previous segments where I've brought items in to kind of give good examples, and we have a couple today if we can show those. But I kind of wanted to give a really good update on some new technologies we're bringing in and some new progress that we're making.
Okay. And also the help that you're getting from interns.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
We have a pretty good internship program that's been really successful, I think, both for the student and for us as well. And the volunteers are just sort of pouring in, which is excellent because we can use as much help as we can get. So.
and college students would be history majors who, as part of their curriculum, would do an internship?
For the most part, the people who come to us for interns, they are college students, and they usually are history majors. We've also had public history majors, which is similar, but you know, more focused on bringing in like education for the public versus scholarly education, you know. But we also could use interns from just about any field, education, things like that, especially if someone was interested in like the social sciences for education.
And how young and how old?
Well, college age. For volunteers,
you
we
wouldn't
could
want
do
high school students particularly?
Well, if their school offered an internship opportunity for them, then we definitely would. And we have a lot of had high school students in the past volunteer.
Doing community service hours?
Exactly. Yeah. It's actually a really good opportunity for high school students who are interested in history to come in. They can get those volunteer hours if their school requires them.
And you have things for them to do that would be
lots of things for them to do. Yeah, I haven't heard, and maybe they just wouldn't say it to me, but I haven't heard of any volunteer or intern or anything who left thinking like, oh man, I regret that. Everyone seems to love it, so I'm very happy to have them there. So.
Well, tell us what you're gonna show us something on the laptop.
I wanted to bring this laptop today to kind of show you the collections that we're working on getting a lot of. Everything's getting cataloged into a computer database, so you can go in there and search for certain key terms and see if we have anything that is relevant to what you're looking for. So this actually is the, I wanted to bring this to show you the way that the online collections looks when you first go to it on the website. You can go to our website, jackshistory.com, to link to this, but the website address for this is jackshistory.pastperfect/online.com.
Or you can get there through our website.
Exactly. That's probably the easiest way. But once you're there, this is what it looks like, and you would just click on Search the Online Catalog, see with the mouse here, and that would take you to the search screen. I brought up a little search screen already for us, sort of a results page. So what I did here is I typed in Kellogg, which actually one of the segments, we brought that album on here before, but it's basically a very picture-heavy type of scrapbook. So we've digitized all of that. That's something all the volunteers and interns are working on doing. We've digitized all those photos and put them in this database. So if you search for Kellogg, or you search for, let's say, Riverboat, the Kellogg album has a riverboat picture, it'll bring up that particular picture. You can see here that with the search of Kellogg, it's giving us all of the search results for the term Kellogg. And if any other collections had used that same term, they would also pop up in these search results. But one nice thing is you can click on, I'm not going to do it just now, but you could click on these little thumbnails and it pops up the full picture. And actually, the majority of these have 4 little pictures on them. And if you click on those, you can see those even larger. So it's a really good resource that we can use for people who maybe are out of state or don't have time to come down or want to see what we have as sort of a preview before they make an appointment and come down.
And if someone is having trouble with this, they could give you a call?
They absolutely can. Yeah, our phone number is 374-0296, and they can call. They could also email. My direct email is Lauren, Lauren, @jackshistory.com. So they definitely could get assistance on how to use this, or just ask me directly something they might be looking for.
And again, that's that interesting looking building behind the arena.
It is, Old Salix Hospital,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And parking is behind the building.
It is behind the building. The address is 314 Palmetto Street, but the actual parking is behind off of Monroe.
And you've got some scrapbooks. Let's take a look at.
I do. One thing I brought this scrapbook album today. This is one of the scrapbooks from this collection about Mayor Alsop. This is, I think, scrapbook number 4 out of 11 of them. But Alsop's family, Mayor Alsop, the Main Street Bridge is named after him.
That's an important trivia question.
It is an important trivia question.
And what's the real name of the Main Street Bridge?
Mayor John T. Alsop, Jr.
Yeah. His family would want that.
They would definitely want that.
And the name is on the bridge.
It is.
If you cross it, you can take a look.
There's
up there.
sort of a plaque up when you first go under the, But this collection is really fascinating because Mayor Alsop was actually Jacksonville's longest running mayor. And these cover from 1926 to pretty much 1932, 33. And it's every newspaper clipping that, well, they clip them, but every newspaper article that mentions his name or anything. Alsop was an incredible sort of publicity guy. He would go to New York and give speeches about Jacksonville. People were saying that the only 2 mayors in the United States at the time that mattered were the mayor of New York and Mayor Alsop. And he really turned Jacksonville into a very progressive town at the time. And he'd have all kinds of events. I've opened to this page just because I thought it was cute. He organized sort of a party to go out to watch the Florida-Georgia game.
Why not?
And so, yeah, and I think there's actually, and I can't remember if it's this page or not, there's like a special train that they could take to go watch the game. And
where was the game was in Jacksonville, though?
Well, at the time, I think that...
Maybe it was before it was moved
I
to
think so. I think it was before,
So we don't know, was he a Gator or a Bulldog?
Well, if you look through the scrapbooks, he's a Gator fan.
Okay.
But only because FSU wasn't around yet. That's my personal note.
Only because
FSU wasn't around yet.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But everyone in Jacksonville was a huge Gator fan because really that was the big local sports team at the time. But he was really...
Some things haven't changed.
Exactly. Thank you. Sometimes he was very, I use that example because he was very community oriented. He would have large celebrations throughout the town. In the other segment mentioned that we're going to be having a Halloween party soon. He organized a city Halloween party, things you don't quite see as often now. He was really into that. But partially I brought this collection because it's fascinating and we can learn, there's really no big archive anywhere else that deals with Alsop, which is surprising because he was in office for so long. But one of our interns, Peter Thomas, and I are trying to get information on this collection presented at the next Florida Conference of Historians, because when you're really looking at the public side of what's happening in the government, it's interesting to see other research avenues and do they match up, is this contradictory, and really get his opinion on things.
And we think his family did this scrapbook. Someone, we're
exactly.
not sure.
His family definitely donated the scrapbooks.
We would hope that more recent mayors' families would be putting together scrapbooks.
Correct, correct. And I have to add that my one white glove wasn't a fashion statement. I'm trying to use the gloves in order to hold the archival items.
Plus the laptop, right?
And I was trying to use my finger,
Right. Well, let's take a quick look at this other scrapbook.
Yeah, I brought one other scrapbook with me today. It doesn't look so pretty, but it was donated in 1968 by Judge Warren Jones, and it's this interesting, if I can get it open first, collection of passport photographs. So, now when you go to apply for a passport, you have to get those pictures taken that go in the passport, but also the government, of course, is keeping copies of the pictures. Somehow, he ended up with this scrapbook, which is photographs of people who have applied at that Northeast Florida passport office from basically 1920 to 1922. So you've got families and individuals from all around the country who are applying for these passports, but it has their name and also their location underneath. So there's some well-known people in Jacksonville's past that are in here, and maybe your family members might be in here too, you know?
Yeah, it would not be a perfect picture of society because it would just be people who could afford to travel internationally, right? Who would have a passport.
Exactly. But that's one thing that I actually have been fascinated about looking through. You know, especially in the 20s in Northeast Florida, you would think most African Americans would not necessarily be, you know, traveling internationally because of the opportunities available to them. But there are several African American families and other ethnicities that are applying, and it would be interesting to see what the socioeconomic background of everyone in here really was. So this in itself could be an interesting study or paper.
Yeah. And this is just an example of a couple of things that are in the archives. And
yes,
if someone has something that they think might be worthy of being in the archives, they should bring it, right?
Definitely. We do accept donations. That's what our whole archive is built off of. So any sort of family history that someone might have, or you know, like I said, old photos, letters, documents. It could be a book like this. It could even be just an old book that maybe, you know, you think surely there's a copy somewhere. Well, a lot of times maybe not.
When in doubt,
just call and ask.
Yeah, I'll call and ask.
Right,
sure,
right,
sure.
and bring it by one way or the other. Yeah.
Well, Lauren Swain Mosley, thank you very much, Historical
you.
Society archivist.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. For more information on Jacksonville history, call 665-0064 or visit our website, www.jackshistory.com. And as our executive director, Emily Liska, always says, we're history.